Hello, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to the 2020 and 2021 Springfield Adult Learning Center graduation. SALC. What is SALC? Springfield Adult Learning Center provides free adult classes for students trying to further their education and get their high set. We also offer GED classes and ESOL classes. Where are we? We're housed in building 27 on the second floor on the STCC campus. You can call us at 413-755-4300, or you can email us at salc@stcc.edu. And now I want to introduce our program director, Kitty Doolittle.
Good evening. I'm Kitty Doolittle, the program director for the Springfield Adult Learning Center. Welcome. I welcome each and every one of you, family members, friends, staff, members of the community, and members of STIC. I welcome the graduates and am honored to be able to be here today. As we celebrate the graduation of our students from fall of 2019 through spring of 2021, we are so amazed at the accomplishments that you have completed with completing your high set. We see that you have persevered through very challenging material and opportunities to learn and grow in the subjects that you have taken on. We are so pleased with you for developing that I can do it, I'm here, I'm getting it done, being attentive to completion, all the way to completion. We are just so proud of you. I am so excited to congratulate you on your amazing accomplishment. Your dedication and your perseverance will pay off throughout your lifetime. I look forward to hearing from our student speakers and welcome you to your graduation. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Chantel Geary. I am in a relationship and I have 4 children, all living with me and work around the house all week. I started the High Set program through STIC in September of 2019. When I first started, I didn't think I was going to succeed and did not have an emotional mindset. One of the first steps in the program was to take an assessment. My struggles with the test anxiety didn't help. I got through it with help from staff. Classes weren't always easy for me since I wasn't very good at math, but the math teachers I had motivated me and showed me I could do anything I put my mind to. Each day was an opportunity for learning. I focused on what was important to keep myself moving forward, not just for me, but for my family as well. Other students saw my motivation and were encouraged. I really enjoyed learning and feeling supported by all the people in this program. I have found that there is so much in life we can do when we work hard for what we want and achieve it. COVID-19 may have stopped us from physically attending classrooms, but it didn't stop us from learning, and we didn't lose sight of what we were looking toward. I believe everything happens for a reason. I am so honored to be addressing you at this graduation, and I am forever grateful for all the people that helped me on this part of my life's journey. My best advice to anyone is to never give up. Stay positive, because if you are determined to accomplish something, nothing or no one can stop you.
Hello, my name is Juan Phoebus. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade, mostly because I didn't like it and thought school was a waste of my time. I struggled through life after that because I had a drug addiction and daily drinker. Got me in trouble with the law and in jail, and got in jail twice. One day I stopped drinking after about 3 years of being sober. I went to mass rehab. I got help from and got a job. Then decided to go back to school, and I was sent to a program on State Street in Springfield called Read Right Now. After being in that program for about a year and scoring high on my tests, I started my journey at STCC. I attended all my classes and never missed a day. The teachers were very nice, helpful, and glad to teach me. I want to let you know that I am grateful for all the teachers in STCC program that stood by me and helped me to never give up. I struggle because of problems with comprehending. I have ADHD. Reading and math were not easy for me. I kept doing my homework and trying my best. I took tests and failed. I continued working and trying until I finally passed and earned a GED. I believe what helped me the most was persistence and perseverance. I'm so incredibly grateful to now have my GED. My suggestions to any new student in this program are: don't let yourself get discouraged. Work at doing your best. And even when you feel you don't can go on, don't quit. Stay positive and be persistent. Even if you fail, just keep trying. That's what I did, and I'm so glad for it. Thank you. Thank everyone here, and enjoy your summer.
The wisest person I ever met in my life, a third grade dropout. Wisest and dropout in the same sentence is rather oxymoronic, like jumbo shrimp. Like fun run, ain't nothing fun about it. Like Microsoft Works, y'all don't hear me. I used to say like country music, but I've lived in Texas so long, I love country music now. I hunt, I fish, I have cowboy boots and cowboy, y'all, I'm a black neck redneck. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? No longer oxymoronic for me to say country music. And it's not oxymoronic for me to say third grade and dropout. That third grade dropout, the wisest person I ever met in my life, who taught me to combine knowledge and wisdom to make an impact, was my father. A simple cook. Wisest man I ever met in my life. Just a simple cook. Left school in the third grade to help out on the family farm, but just because he left school doesn't mean his education stopped. Mark Twain once said, "I've never allowed my schooling to get in the way of my education." My father taught himself how to read, taught himself how to write, decided in the midst of Jim Crowism, as America was breathing the last gasp of the Civil War, my father decided he was going to stand and be a man. Not a black man, not a brown man, not a white man, but a man. He literally challenged himself to be the best that he could all the days of his life. I have 4 degrees. My brother is a judge. We're not the smartest ones in our family. It's a third grade dropout daddy. A third grade dropout daddy who was quoting Michelangelo, saying to us, "Boys, I won't have a problem if you aim high and miss, but I'm gonna have a real issue if you aim low and hit." A country mother quoting Henry Ford, saying, "If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right." I learned that from a third grade drop. Simple lessons. Lessons like these. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. We never knew what time it was at my house because the clocks were always ahead. My mother said for nearly 30 years, my father left the house at 3:45 in the morning. One day she asked him, "Why, Daddy?" He said, "Maybe one of my boys will catch me in the act of excellence." I want to share 2 things with you. Aristotle said, "You are what you repeatedly do." Therefore, excellence ought to be a habit, not an act. Don't ever forget that. I know you're tough, but always remember to be kind. Always. Don't ever forget that. Never embarrass mama. Yeah. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If daddy ain't happy, don't nobody care. But you know, I'm trying to tell you. Next lesson. Lesson from a cook over there in the galley. Son, make sure your servant's towel is bigger than your ego. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Y'all might have a relative in mind you want to send that to. Let me say it again. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Pride is the burden of a foolish person. John Wooden coached basketball at UCLA for a living, but his calling was to impact people. And with all those national championships, guess what he was found doing in the middle of the week? Going into the cupboard, grabbing a broom, and sweeping his own gym floor. You want to make an impact? Find your broom. Every day of your life, you find your broom. You grow your influence that way. That way you're attracting people so that you can impact them. Final lesson. Son, if you're gonna do a job, do it right. I've always been told how average I can be. Always been criticized about being average. But I want to tell you something. I stand here before you, before all of these people, not listening to those words, but telling myself every single day to shoot for the stars, to be the best that I can be. Good enough isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough if it can be best. Let me close with a very personal story that I think will bring all this into focus. Wisdom will come to you in the unlikeliest of sources, a lot of times through failure. When you hit rock bottom, remember this: while you're struggling, rock bottom can also be a great foundation on which to build and on which to grow. I'm not worried that you'll be successful. I'm worried that you won't fail from time to time. The person that gets up off the canvas and keeps growing, that's the person that will continue to grow their influence. Back in the 70s, to help me make this point, let me introduce you to someone. I met the finest woman I'd ever met in my life. Back in my day, we'd have called her a brick house. This woman was the finest woman I'd ever seen in my life. There's just one little problem. Back then, ladies didn't like big old linemen. The Blind Side hadn't come out yet. They like quarterbacks and running backs. We're at this dance, and I find out her name is Trina Williams from Lompoc, California. And we're all dancing, and we're just excited. And I decide in the middle of dancing with her that I would ask her for her phone number. Trina was the first one. Trina was the only woman in college who gave me her real telephone number. The next day, we walked to Baskin & Robbins ice cream parlor. My friends couldn't believe it. This has been 40 years ago, and my friends still can't believe it. We go on a second date, and a third date, and a fourth date. We drive from Chico to Vallejo so that she could meet my parents. My father meets her. My daddy, my hero, he meets her, pulls me to the side and says, "Is she psycho?" But anyway, we go together for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. By now, Trina's a senior in college. I'm still a freshman, but I'm working some things out. I'm so glad I graduated in 4 terms. Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan. So now it's time to propose. So I talked to her girlfriends, and it's California, it's in the 70s, so it has to be outside. You have to have a candle, and you have to have, some chocolate. Listen, I'm from the hood. I had a bottle of Boone's Farm wine. That's what I had. She said yes. That was the key. I married the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. Y'all ever been to a wedding, and even before the wedding starts, you hear this? How in the world? And it was coming from my side of the family. We get married, we have a few children, our lives are great. One day, Trina finds a lump in her left breast. Breast cancer. 6 years after that diagnosis, me and my 2 little boys walked up to Mommy's casket. And for 2 years, my heart didn't beat. If it wasn't for my faith in God, I wouldn't be standing here today. If it wasn't for those 2 little boys, there would have been no reason for which to go on. I was completely lost. That was rock bottom. You know what sustained me? The wisdom of a 3rd grade dropout. The wisdom of a simple cook. We're at the casket. I'd never seen my dad cry. But this time I saw my dad cry. That was his daughter. Trina was his daughter, not his daughter-in-law. And I'm right behind my father, about to see her for the last time on this earth. And my father shared 3 words with me that changed my life right there at the casket. It would be the last lesson he would ever teach me. He said, "Son, just stand. You keep standing. You keep standing, no matter how rough the sea, you keep standing." And I'm not talking about just water. You keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. And as clearly as I'm talking to you today, these were some of her last words to me. She looked me in the eye and she said, "It doesn't matter to me any longer how long I live. What matters to me most is how I live." I ask y'all one question, a question that I was asked all my life by a 3rd grade dropout. How you living? How you living? Every day, ask yourself that question, how you living? Here's what a cook would suggest you to live this way. That you would not judge, that you would show up early, that you'd be kind, that you'd make sure that that servant's towel is huge and used. That if you're going to do something, you do it the right way. That cook would tell you this, that it's never wrong to do the right thing. That how you do anything is how you do everything. And in that way, you will grow your influence to make an impact. In that way, you will honor all those who have gone before you, who have invested in you. Look in those unlikeliest places for wisdom. Enhance your life every day by seeking that wisdom and asking yourself every night, how am I living? May God richly bless y'all. Thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Miguel Velez. I'm the intake specialist here at Springfield Adult Learning Center. I want to congratulate all our graduates of 2021 and 2020 semester. Nigel Astwood, Zachariah Balloon, Asinia Bethia, Remy Covington, Maribel Dones, Kijona Eddington, Juan Phoebus, Gilberto Figueroa, Christopher Fiorentino, Trisha Fisher, Chantel Geary, Eric Gibson, William Gonzalez, Catherine Grant, Errol Hill, Mary Hill, Angelique Huey, Corinne Jarrett, Michael Kristen, Nancy Malmolejos, Catherine Navarro, Jacqueline Otero Santana, Luis Rivera, Cecilia Robles, Eric Rodriguez, Xavier Santos, Dennis Vasquez, Kayla Velasquez, and Lee Ward. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I want to congratulate the class of 2020 and 21. I want to introduce again Kitty Doolittle for our closing remarks.
Good evening. I'm Kitty Doolittle, the program director for the Springfield Adult Learning Center. I am honored to be here tonight. And before we close the rest of our ceremony for our graduates, I wanted to share a few words, to take this opportunity to just share from my heart some of the things that I feel about graduation. Having completed your goal of earning your high set, I encourage you to continue to use your knowledge and skills that you have developed in this season of your life as you move to your next endeavor. Whether the next thing that you take on is to pursue some more education through a certificate or degree program, or whether you take this opportunity to enter the workforce or continue in the workforce, I encourage you to use the skills that you've learned, that you've developed through this last period of your life, with your dedication, your perseverance, your willpower that has gotten you through to getting this high set. With the skills and the knowledge, I encourage you to approach each new opportunity with this perseverance and dedication. This will help you move you forward throughout your life and be a great model for the community and for your family and friends. Take time to reflect on the changes that you have embraced in your personal life and to use these changes for good. Use these changes to help you in the next opportunity. Use these changes to help you as you work with your family and friends and as you go into the workforce. Use these changes as you work within the community. I hope that you have become a lifelong learner, or in the next season will become what we call a lifelong learner. Someone who is in pursuit of learning for the joy of learning, for the ability to take that learning and use it in different areas in your life. I hope that you will have a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for improving the world through your contributions. Learn all you can, whenever and wherever you can. Take responsibility for yourself. Be open to doing the next thing. Show yourself to shine, to be ready for that next step. I thank you for the opportunity to work with you, and thank you for allowing us to be part of your educational journey. I eagerly look forward to your next accomplishments and to hear from you as you move through the next part of your lives. I hope you leave here with a deep feeling of accomplishment and a strong commitment to put your gifts and talents to make this world a better place. And now, graduates, if you would please stand, wherever you are, please stand and take the tassel that is on the right side of your mortar board and move it to the left. I commend you on your hard work and congratulate you on your accomplishments. Congratulations, graduates 2020 and 2021. Thank you so much. We will now adjourn from this Zoom meeting and we will move to the social hour, which is the second Zoom meeting. This Zoom meeting for the social hour has been put in the chat for your convenience, and it's also on the emails and invitations you have received. All are welcome. Graduates, family, and friends are welcome to join us in social hour. Thank you and good evening.